Set your expectations extremely low. That way I can only surpass it. MJ, and also me. Hello, Shawty Baes. Hello, besties. Welcome to my bed. You are literally on my bed. You're welcome. So here's the thing. I'm getting my period. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I'm feeling this overwhelming sadness and I'm feeling so much cramps and all I want to do is lay in bed. However, I wanted to film my February TBR. I wanted to tell you the books that I would like to read in February, that maybe possibly I'll read in February. February? I'm feeling like Nick Miller right now. You know the episode when Nick Miller doesn't know how to say February? He's like February. If you don't know, just ignore me. Anyway, I wanted to film it. However, I don't want to get out of bed. So I'm filming it in bed. No further questions. Anyway, I have a gigantic TBR for this month. I don't know why I put so many books now that I'm looking at it. However, I already wrote them on my notes. Therefore, they're set in stone. I can't change them. It's far too late. So I'm going to share those with you. Obviously, I don't know anything about these books because I haven't read them, but they're on the TBR, meaning I'm going to try to read them in February. I can't say February anymore. February. I have a list of the books I want to read on my handy-dandy cellular device. I don't have the physical copies, so therefore I'm just going to be putting little stickers right here and calling it a day. First up, I have Do I Know You? This is by Emily Wilberly and then Austin Broca. They're like a duo writer, and I'm pretty sure writers. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're married too. So that's really cool. Here's the thing though, this book, it really intrigues me. The premise just looks so good. It's a marriage in trouble, marriage on the rocks. You guys know how much I love those. It says when a couple starts to feel like they're married to a stranger, a flirtatious game of pretend becomes a spark they need to reignite their friendship. It's about Eliza and Graham, and they have like a week-long getaway to celebrate their 5-year anniversary. And then basically like at that getaway, they pretend to be strangers falling in love for the first time. So I guess that like reignites their relationship. It's basically a role-playing book. Very excited. Here's the thing about this book though. It is by the writers that wrote The Roughest Draft. Now, you guys know my beef with The Roughest Draft. There is no beef. The beef is just that I haven't read it and it's been on my TBR for so long. I think I've had The Roughest Draft for about a year. Ever since it came out, I've had it on my bookshelf, ready to read. And I put it on literally endless amounts of TBRs, and every single time I can't manage to pick that book up. I physically can't. I even made it a book club pick one month because I was like, oh, that'll force me to read it. Turns out it didn't because I still didn't read it. I'm gonna try their other book instead. And if I like this one, then maybe I'll go read The Roughest Draft. The logic is there. Anyway, Do I Know You? Do you know me? I don't know. Let's find out. Then I have In a Jam by Kate Cranberry. Nope, Kate, nope, that's not right. Kate Canterbury. Yes. In a Jam. I said cranberry because jam. I'm very excited to read this book. I've heard nothing but amazing things, but it is very long. I think it's like 500 pages or so. Am I prepared? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try. It says, when Shea Zucchini? Oh, Zucconi. I mess up every name. Please don't judge me. English isn't my first language, let's not forget. Anyway, when Shea Zucconi's step-grandmother died, oh no. She left Shea a tulip farm. Well, that is unexpected. Under 2 conditions. First, Shea has to move home to a small town. Second, and most problematic, since her fiance just called off the wedding, Shea must be married within 1 year. Excuse me? No, I loved Shea back in high school. Not that he ever told her. A lifetime later, he's a single dad. So I'm reading this book immediately because you had me at single dad. I need to hear nothing else. So apparently it's a second chance. Not really second chance, but I guess he liked her in high school and then now he's getting a chance to be with her, but she probably didn't know that he liked her and she's back in this small town for her tulip farm. She has to be married, blah, 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 blah. Had me a single dad. I'm gonna read this. Vicious Bonds by Shanora Williams. Hear me out. This is a dark romance fantasy. I know nothing about it besides the fact that the guy in it is like based on Thomas Shelby. And if you guys don't know, I recently watched Peaky Blinders and it changed who I am. And I love that show and I love Thomas Shelby with everything in me. So therefore I have to read this because I'm not done with Tommy Shelby quite yet. So this book is going to give me some more of him, I hope. It is based on him. Is it gonna live up to his name? I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. It is a dark romance, so I'm excited for that because I haven't read a dark romance in quite some time, and I haven't read fantasy in quite some time either. Like, I've only read Shatter Me, which is dystopian. This is a full-on fantasy, so I'm very excited. And I'm happy that it's romance and fantasy, so I don't just get thrown in there. I don't think it's going to be a lot of world building or any of that, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know much about it, like I said, but I'm very excited. Why? Why? Because we fucking can. Because we fucking can. And if we can, we do. I order the Peaky Blinders. Then I have Hail Mary by Candy Steiner. This is the 4th book in the Red Zone Rivals series by her. The first one was Fair Catch, then it was Blindside, then Quarterback Sneak, and I read all of those and loved them so very much. So I'm very excited for Hail Mary. And this follows the guy that I'm most excited about, which is Leo. They're all part of this football team in college, so they're all sports romances, and I'm so excited. It's going to be like an enemies to lovers, forced proximity, a little bit of second chance. I think they're roommates too, so I'm there. This one I can vouch for. This one I know I'll definitely read, because since it's part of a series I really enjoy, I know that I'm gonna read it. Like, I don't have a doubt in my mind that I will read this book. I never lie. Me? A liar? Not me. Wrong bitch. Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan. I've been trying to space out my Kennedy Ryan reads as much as humanly possible, because you guys know I love her so much, and I'm running out of books. But after I read all the Kingsmen series by her, which is a duet, I really was so excited for Queen Move, because you meet the character that Queen Move is about in that series, and I feel like I'm gonna love it. I really enjoyed the Kingsmen, but I feel like I'll enjoy Queen Move a lot more, so I'm very excited. Maybe I'll listen to this, because I heard it's a great listen, and I loved listening to Real by Kennedy Ryan. That's one of my favorite audiobooks, so I think I'll really enjoy this. And it's Kennedy Ryan. She hasn't steered me in the wrong direction yet, so I must trust her. I think this is a childhood friends to lovers as well, which is one of my favorite tropes, Lilo supremacy. So I feel like I'm gonna love this. The Way I Used to Be, I don't know much about this book besides the fact that it's very heavy, and I'm kind of in the mood for a life-changing book right now. So I think this will be a book I listen to soon. I want a life-changing, phenomenal book, and I think this will give it to me. So very heavy, but I hope I'm ready for it. My antidepressants got my back. Twisted, Emily McIntyre. This is another one that's part of a series. It is the 4th book in the Never After series by her. The first one is Hooked. The second one is Scarred. The third one is Wretched. And then it's Twisted. All of them are basically like little twists on fairy tales. It's the villains getting their happy ending. And they're all dark romance. Like I said, I haven't read dark romance in quite some time, so I'm very excited for this one. And it's a part of a series that I love. I'm really in the mood for Emily McIntyre right now. It's an Aladdin one, so I think it's Jafar with Jasmine. I was gonna say Belle for some reason. Anyway, very excited for Twisted. Look at the cover. Come on, come on. So I'll be reading this. It's sitting on my Kindle. It's ready for me. Restore Me, J.L. Seegers. I've only read one book by this author, and it was Again, but it was a novella, and I am not the biggest novella person. Let me just put that out there. I really like to get a lot of story, and obviously novellas can't give you that. You can't expect them to give you that because they're so short. So sometimes you need a novella to kind of just get you out of a slump or something, but I am not the biggest fan. So I didn't love that book, but it's not on the book. The writing was amazing. It's just on me not liking novellas. So I would like to try this one because I'm pretty sure this is a full-length novel, and I really liked this author's writing, so I'm excited. I feel like it's very grown. You know what I mean? It's like grown people book, and I'm grown. And I'm pretty sure this is the forbidden romance too, which I haven't read in quite some time. Like, I think it's this woman Sloane, and then it's her husband passed away, and now it's like years later, and she falls for his best friend, I think. Don't quote me on that, or as Mel likes to say, don't write it down, because I don't think that might not be right, but I think that's what it is. I'm in the mood for forbidden. I really am. I'm in the mood for some blurred lines. I'm in the mood for some gray areas, for some, damn, did I just read that? Damn, do I agree with that? Not really, but it was fun to read. You know? Sinners Anonymous. This is the first book in a series. I could not tell you how many books are in the series yet. Maybe if I read it in my wrap-up, I'll be able to tell you more. But I know it's mafia, though. And that's another thing I haven't read in quite some time. I feel like I've been reading so many fluffy books lately, and I think I've been getting a little bit bored because my ratings have kind of been going down, and I think that I need to read something completely different for me to be in the mood again. I think Mafia might do that for me. It literally says, my fiance's nephew knows every sin I've ever committed. He's about to become the deepest and darkest of them all. Hello? Your fiance's nephew? Ma'am, my name is Rory Carter. Why did you drop out of Yale? Oh, it says here, dark mafia, romance, forbidden love, age gap, and enemies to lovers. Immediately, yes. Then I put the other two books in the Chloe Brown trilogy. So I put Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown, both by Talia Hipper. I read Chloe Brown, I kid you not, I think almost 2 years ago. Oh my God, but I only read the first one, but I loved that book. I don't know why I didn't pick up the other two immediately after, but I didn't. I might have not been in the mood, but I loved Chloe Brown. It was so funny, such good writing. I loved the spice. Talia Hipper really delivered. So I'm excited to read these other two. So Take a Hint, Danny Brown, I think is fake dating. She's a PhD student. He's an ex-rugby player. They're destined to sleep together. What a great destiny. And then Act Your Age, Eve Brown. He's a bed and breakfast owner. Ooh, giving Gilmore Girls. Then she hits him with her car. Oh, that was Not what I was expecting whatsoever. His arm's broken, his B&B is understaffed, and dangerously unpredictable Eve is fluttering around trying to help. Before long, she's infiltrated his work, his kitchen, and his spare bedroom. Wait, I love that. It seems a little bit like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine vibe, a little bit of forced proximity. It's giving a bit of enemies to lovers because, you know, she straight up hit him with her car. If that doesn't say enemies, I don't know what does. Even though it was an accident. So, accidentally enemies. That would be a cool title for a book. Accidentally Enemies. Anyway, I'm very excited to read these. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is the second book in her Windy City series. That's hard to say. The Windy City series. Windy City series. Chicago. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, the first book is Mile High, and I love that book with all of my soul. That is one of my favorite books of all time. Stevie and Xander's own a piece of me, so I'm so excited for The Right Move. You meet the characters from The Right Move in Mile High, so if you want to read that one first, you probably should. This one's about Ryan and Indy, and it's probably going to be dual POV because Mile High is, and in Mile High, Ryan is Stevie's brother and Indy is her best friend. So it's going to be best friend's brother. I think it's going to be a little bit of forced proximity. This book and me, we're going to vibe this weekend. On a completely unrelated note, Triple Duty Bodyguards by Lily Gold. This is a white choose romance, aka it's one girl and three guys. All of Lily Gold's books are like that, I think. I only read Faking with Benefits, but I adored that book and I really miss her writing because it's so funny and refreshing and fun and the spice is immaculate. And I'm not a big white shoes fan. Like, I usually don't read those type of books, but I've read some that I really enjoyed. I just don't look for them. But if someone tells me that they're really good, I will read it. You know, I don't judge. This is a judgment-free zone. I will try anything. That sounds weird. I will try to read anything. Backtrack. Anyway, Triple Duty Bodyguards. I think she's famous and they're all her bodyguards. Yeah, that's right there in the title. Can't wait for them all to... Things We Hide from the Light, Lucy's Score. This is another one that is sitting on my Kindle ready for me, and I am ready for it. This is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score. The first one is Things We Never Got Over. I adore that book. That's one of my 5-star reads. I loved it more than I love anything, really. More than I love myself. So I'm ready for this. This is Nash'S Story. Nash is Knox's brother in the first book, so if you read that book, you probably know who Nash is. Well, you obviously know who Nash is, unless you forgot. In which case, here's Nash. It's about damn time I read When Gracie Met the Grump. For some reason, I've been calling this book Gracie and the Grump. That is not the name whatsoever. It's When Gracie Met the Grump. MZ. I haven't read it yet, and I've read every single MZ book in existence besides this one, so I'm very excited for this. I've been trying to save it because MZ is one of my favorite writers, and I sadly have read every single book. With that being said, I'm excited to read this. It's a superhero romance, I think. And I love Mia Slober. Honey and Spice. This was on my TBR last month and I didn't read it. So I'm trying again. Giving myself another shot. Giving myself a second chance. I am my own second chance trope. I'm gonna read this. I heard it's very funny. I heard it's very good. And while I was like doing my fails of the month video, I read a couple pages of this book and it really intrigued me. So I'm excited. I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it. And if I don't do it this time, then well, then I'll just try again. Play With Me, Becca Mack. This is the second book in a series. The first one is Consider Me, and I really enjoyed Consider Me, and I think I'm gonna like Play With Me even more because apparently it's even better. A big part of the reason why I didn't give Consider Me a full like 5 stars, I think I only gave it 4, is because some of it was really cheesy and cringeworthy to me, and people said that Play With Me doesn't have that. So I'm very excited. It's another player on the team, so they're all part of like the hockey team. NHL, Vancouver, I think. I'm not really sure. They're all friends, and you meet them all in the first book, so another guy gets a book. I think it's the Vancouver Vipers, and I think that this story is like he's not supposed to be with the captain's little sister, but then he is. So a little bit of like forbidden teammate sister age gap maybe? I don't know. I'll find out and get back to you. I'll report back. And last but certainly not least, you know, February, the month of love, I'm gonna read Win, Lose, Kill, Die. I have no fucking clue what this is about. Like, not a single clue. I don't know why I stumbled upon it on my Kindle and I was like, I'm gonna read this. This is calling my name. Win, Lose, Kill, Die. Larry. I'm gonna read this. Win, Lose, Kill, Die. Yes. That is all. I'm gonna go lay with a heating pad now. Bye-bye. I love you so much. Let me know what's on your February TBR. And of course, at the end of the month, I'll be back to let you know if I read these or not. Maybe this will be the month that I surprise everyone and read every single one. Don't count on it. I love you, Shorty Babies. Have such a good day.